First of all, in the total XP for the weekly missions, it only comes to about 13% out of all of the XP for the week. So if you want to pass on this to save your fragile resins, because you're going to have to use them, you're only going to be missing 13% of the weekly XP to skip on this one. So that's entirely up to you to do. If you also want to skip on the 5500 original resin use for this battle period, I haven't totaled all that out. The 21 days there, if you were to take the 180 resin that you can get maximum per day, and you times it by the remaining days we have there, basically 21, that's 3,780, and I'm already over halfway there. So honestly, it's possible to get that 5,500 done if you've put a lot of progress in until now without having to use the fragile resin. But you're going to have to really squeeze in resin every day, and I'm going to explain how to do that. But first of all, let me just put it like this. If you don't want to use those fragile resins, then just hold on to them. 13% is not that much. I was looking into the total BP for each level. It looks like it's only battle pass points, whatever. It's only 1,000 per level. Looks like this thing goes up until, well, 50 there, level 50. So we're looking at, I've got 20 levels to go. You're going to have to do the math for yourself on where your current progress is and what you need. Of course, doing daily missions. I think these are pretty much the same every single day, so let's just factor that in really quick there. You've got 150 plus 150, 225, and 120. That's about 650 there. You get the weekly missions in, so basically 650 times 7, if you get it done every day throughout the week. That's 4,515. That's 3 battle pass levels right there. And then the weekly missions, see what we're going to get there. Let's just do everything minus the one for the 1600 resin, because all this other stuff should be pretty easy to do if you play the game, like the Wolf of the North and Storm Terror. You should be able to get that done. Hold on here, I'm just taking into account everything except for the 1600 one. Alright, adding all that together. Oh my gosh, man. I gotta do it again. I must have hit a multiplication sign in there somewhere, because it multiplied. Alright, so that comes to 4,320. So really, between the weekly minus the 1600 and the daily missions, that's almost, if not more, levels. 10 levels, basically, is what it's going to come to. That's not bad. 10 levels, I got 20 left I need. We've got 7, 14, 21, 3 weeks. I'm easily going to max that out. I don't even know if you can get anything once you get past that point. But I don't know where you are on your battle pass. You're going to have to figure that all out, how much XP you have remaining. And here's another thing, too. They only let you have weekly XP of 10,000 up there. It says weekly XP limit. So, again, don't stress that 1600 so much. I may or may not continue to go for it because it's pretty annoying to have to do. You only can get 180 resin every 24 hours, and it maxes out at 120 at any given time. The rate is like 7.5 resin per hour, I believe, and every 8 minutes it's 1 resin. Essentially what you're going to have to do is a couple of times a day you're going to have to log in, do some stuff to blow the resin to get it down to 0, and then walk away and let it recharge. That's the only way you can play casually and not have to stress about it, is just a couple of times a day, maybe in the morning and then at night, or noon and then before you go to bed, something like that. Figure it out. Try to use as much resin as you can just to apply it towards that if you're going for that. And if you're not going for that, then don't even worry about it, because the rest of the stuff you're going to be able to do easily. And then another thing I should mention too, the problem with this is the reason why you have to use the fragile resin in the first place is in a week, the maximum you're going to be able to get, if assuming you did 180 every single day, squoze it for everything you could down to the last minute, is 1260. That's obviously not going to be enough. So you're going to have to use the original resin or the fragile resins to get the remaining original resin you need. It's going to be at least 6 to 7 to 8 of those fragile resins. That's a pretty big deal. And the other thing is, you're going to have to, once you use them, you're going to have to go out and do a ton of activities. So what I wanted to say is, save that for the end of the week. I did a lot of thinking about it, and I thought, just get this done and out of the way at the beginning of the week so you don't have to stress it on the end of the week. Maybe something comes about and gets in your way. I mean, you know your own life and what's going on, and if you're going to have the time to do it. But what I would advise is you try to do that stuff towards the end of the week. And the reason why is, like I've seen other people say, you're going to have progress into the game on your adventure rank towards the end of the week. And as you progress that adventure rank, the world level goes up, which means the enemies give better drops, and I mean a lot better drops. Since I've reached world rank level 3, I've finally been able to start to get items I need to level up. What's it called here? To where do they store that stuff? I get the stuff and I don't even know where they store it. Hold on a minute here. Point is, try to save that stuff towards the end of the week when you've possibly got higher battle rank, higher adventure rank. Here, like this item here, and this item here, and this one. All this stuff I couldn't get to really drop for me until I got to world rank 3 off of enemies. So I would say your best bet is to do that stuff towards the end of every week if you're going to go for that on your battle pass. And if you're not going to stress all that, then don't even worry about it, because here's the biggest problem with the fragile resin. It is really hard to come by, and as far as I know, the only way to get it currently, unless they give us other activities, is through leveling up your adventure rank here with the Adventurers Guild. Here it is, adventure rank rewards. When you get into the higher levels, you're going to get it, looks like almost every level, you're going to get a couple fragile resin there in the middle. Looks like that crescent moon shape. And I don't know how long that continues. Looks like it goes on pretty well. But in the early levels, if you haven't got that high yet, you're lucky to get one every other rank, or one period. Only around 25 it looks like it starts getting into 2. Oh, there's still a 1 there on 26 and 28 and so on. So the point is, it's hard to come by that stuff. If you're having to spend every week 6 to 7 or more to reach that 13% XP, I think that's ridiculous. So unless you need it during the week to fight monsters, to get items you're missing and you're out of resin and you just got to use it, I would save it for those activities that you need, that you just have to fight a monster to get items for. And then as far as the rest goes, as far as that particular mission goes, just don't stress it. Alright, I promise, this is the last video I'm going to make on this. Like I said, I've redone this like 3 times. This is the problem with doing stuff live, is I don't have my thoughts organized. I've seen some streamers start to make like a little notepad they do and have talking points. I'm going to start doing that if I'm going to do this stuff live from now on. Part of the reason I do it live is it takes forever to edit it. Uploading it takes forever. I got good internet, but PlayStation and their limitations and such, it takes forever to upload. So I try to do this stuff live, and there's going to be mistakes sometimes, but all over the place, because I've got so many things I'm thinking of at once on what you need to know and everything. So just don't stress this. Take into account your own situation. 1,000 XP per level on the battle pass. What your goal is, if you're trying to make it all the way to the end, if you think you can. How much XP you're going to put in, because again, there's a limit of 10,000 per week. And I don't even know if you got the Gnostic Hymn Battle Pass. I paid for the $20 version, so maybe the regular one, it's just not that important to you to reach the end, It really comes down to what you want to do. I would say most importantly, more than this Battle Pass, is, let's see here. It's these commission ones daily. That's the most important thing to focus on, because you get some good stuff for this. Like, for example, 60 Primogems a day, and on the left there you get that 500 adventure rank for doing them all. I mean, look at each one of them. 225 times 4, and then the 500 on the left there. I mean, and the friendship XP there and everything, I still don't know what that does exactly, but make sure if you do anything, get those done every day. As far as the Battle Pass goes, they say there's some really good stuff in there. Some streamers I've been seeing, I finally got to 30 here, and I haven't picked one of these weapons yet. I've heard they're all pretty good, so there are some things you can do there, but again, this is part of the Gnostic Hymn. For people that are just doing the base one, it's not even going to matter. And honestly, the weapons I've been using, because let's say I pick one of these, right? I'm only going to have one version of it, whereas the true power in this game with weapons seems to come with using versions that are melded into themselves, basically. The copies are put together, like this one here. It's a slingshot bow. Anybody can get it. It's a blue. It's apparently one of the best bows if you do close range battle. And this one here, it's an amazing one to do support battle. So some of the best stuff in the game, not even the rare stuff, honestly. Just take into account everything I've said, and don't stress that 1600. I think you're good if you pass on it. But if you're like me and you're kind of a completionist, I know how it's going to bother you. Maybe go for it, but again, if it doesn't happen, don't stress it. You'll be just fine. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'll catch you in the next one. But let me know if this has been helpful in the comments. Next time I'll try not to be so chatty.